No! God, please, no! 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 No!
Don't have an ordinary Monday. Have a Burger Monday at Beef O'Brady's. Stacked high with fresh Angus and fries, just $5.49 all day. Beef O'Brady's Burger Mondays. Nobody outbeefs beefs. Never mess with another man's sandwich. Like Beef O'Brady's new prime rib sandwich. Pure indulgence on a French baguette. Or Beef's new pulled pork sandwich. Get $5 off at beefobradys.com. Morning time isn't always pretty. Unless you're having the ultimate weekend breakfast at Beef O'Brady's, then everything looks good. Beef up your breakfast this weekend at Beef O'Brady's starting at 7 a.m. Enjoy traditional breakfast favorites, omelets, breakfast bowls, and sandwiches. Even specialties like beef's corned beef and hash skillet, souffle pancakes, and beignets. Come as you are. We won't judge. See you at Beef's.
What up, what up? It's your boy, Blake Anthony, coming at you again with another session of Reaction Show. Bucs versus Saints, Sports Talk 49. I'm your host, Blake Anthony. This is Sports Talk 49. So you see the title, Saints go marching in. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. How I want to be in that number when those Saints go marching in. And they marched their ass right up into Tampa Bay and did exactly what Tampa Bay did to them when they was in New Orleans eating some gumbo, where Saints didn't even score a touchdown. It was all field goals. We'll talk about that in the box score. Saints get in. Saints get the win. Make Bucs have to wait just one more week to secure the NFC South and to secure a playoff spot for the second year in a row under Todd Bowles' regime. We'll get into that in a minute. But let's check out the box score and everything break down this game a little bit. Let me pull this up real quick. Here we go. You don't want to see me. Let's get to the full. No, we can leave it here. All right. Now, what I tell you about that? Over 23 and under 23. You let a team get to 23 and you scored under 23, which resulted in a loss. It's funny, that recipe tends to work over and over. Derek Carr didn't have a stellar game, 24 for 32, 197, 2 touchdowns. Baker, 22 for 33, 309 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 killing interceptions. Rushing yards held under a 100-yard rusher again, 19 carries, 58. Rashad had 11 for 42. Juwan Johnson was really the story. That seems like who they really wanted to get involved in this game since the 8 receptions, 90 yards, and a touchdown, which was on a whip route early in the game on the first drive of the series. Didn't I tell y'all that Trey Palmer would have a big game? Didn't I say that? I said that somewhere, didn't I? I could have sworn I said it somewhere. That's not what he said. That's not what the man said. He said that. I believe I did say that. And I think I have the exact quote to pull that up as well, if you give me one moment. There it is. I expect 2 to 3 big plays by Trey the Kid. I watched video from the first matchup, and Palmer had opportunities to make some plays. Hopefully the red-hot Mayfield Palmer can make me look smarter. And damn, he did. And we'll talk about that later, but let's get back to the task at hand. Juwan Johnson, yep. Taysom Hill, had one reception for 11 yards or 1 pass. Alvin Kamara, 10 for 45. And nobody else really caught any passes. Taysom Hill, 2 for 30. Chris Olave, 3 for 26. Their offense is horrendous. The fact that the Bucs kept turning the ball over is what killed them in this game. It's what killed them. They gave up 2 sacks in the game. One to Zach Bond, and the other to Brian Breezy, their rookie defensive tackle. Jonathan Abram had a pick, and Alontae Taylor had a pick, one of the passes underthrown by Baker Mayfield to a wide open Trey Palmer. He just couldn't get enough mustard under it. Rushing game, not much. Trey Palmer led the receivers. Mike had 3 receptions for 70 yards. Godwin, three for 81 and 1. Like I said, Palmer 484 and 1 touchdown. Marquise Watt got him a sack in this game, the only sack in the game. Young kid, steadily growing. This Buccaneers, this staff is finding players and developing them. This is what this coaching staff is doing. When you guys want Todd Bowles fired, they are developing players like crazy. You're finding talent all across the board, anywhere in the draft, after the draft, and they're developing these guys. That is what you're not seeing. Instead, you focus your attention onto timeouts, him not yelling on the sideline, and things like that have nothing pertaining to do with the game. The timeouts maybe, but nothing else pertaining to the game. All the man has done here is won the NFC South and gone to the playoffs since he's been the head coach. Let me say it again. All he's done since being a head coach is gone to the playoffs and win the NFC South. We'll see if it happens again in year 2. But that's it for the stats on that. We'll do tape talk, and we'll talk about all that later on and things like that. And we'll break all that down, talking about it and whatnot. Get my background back up there. Yep. It's destiny or disaster. Because destiny, Todd Bowles will go 2 for 2, like I said. 2 years, 2 NFC South titles, 2 playoff appearances. Or they can lose this game to a 2-14 Carolina Panthers, take a whole hell of a lot of scrutiny from media and the fan base, and maybe get fired. I don't know. He's under a 5-year contract. He's not losing the team. The only people that are causing problems within the team is people that are not on the team, fans and media. There's nobody in that locker room is not ready to play for Bowles. There's nobody in that locker room saying any of that. All the noise is outside. And that's where it should be, outside. Because if this team can get hot and stay hot, coming into the playoffs, they can make some noise, win a game at home, come the first week of the wild card weekend, and we'll see what happens from there. They'll play either Dallas or Philadelphia. If they play Philadelphia, I think they got a good chance. You're going to play a very stellar front, Philadelphia's defensive line, but they can do it. They had a chance to do it last time against the Eagles, and I believe they'll have a chance again this time. Just got to hit the throws and make the throws that you can make when you're given the opportunity. Eagles give up abundance of points on their defense, so we'll see. But let's go into the part where we talked about the tape talk. Let's talk about tape a little bit. All right, here we go. Let me undress this a little bit so you guys can see it. All right, this is the one to Trey Palmer. Press coverage. He's trying to stem inside. That's what he's trying to do. Defender jams him. He's able to beat him back outside. And like I told you before, this kid has just got electrifying speed. Baker identifies it early. Has a check down if he wants it, but he sees Trey Palmer beats the press and gets a beautiful ball out there. Drops it in the bucket. Just the bucket had a hole in it and the ball fumbled. But otherwise than that, nothing wrong Baker did. Great protection. Everything was perfect on this play. Should have been touchdown. Trey Palmer should have had 2 receiving touchdowns. Instead, it went from destiny to disaster on one play. I know his mother was at the game. And, you just want to see this kid succeed. And he will. This guy is going to play really well for a long time. And Canales is getting Baker. Them two got to get him the ball more. That's how you beat the Saints defense. There's multiple plays where they had time to throw, and these wide receivers were able to beat these Saints defenders vertically downfield, which they're not good at. That's why we rely so much on 4-man pressure to keep extra guys in coverage so these type of things don't happen. But unfortunately, it didn't work out that way, and that's the way the cookie crumbles. It's your division opponent. You guys split. They split this year and help make the Bucs wait one more week to seal up the division. So we'll see what entails that week. It's expected for Tampa Bay to get this win next week, but it's not a gimme. You got to come out there and do it so you can move on to the next phase, not sitting there in the fourth quarter on pins and needles trying to win a game. let's go ahead and seal this victory and move on and kind of silence the noise that you hear all around you in Tampa Bay, because it's very, very, very toxic in Tampa. And the media here doesn't really help it because they feed off of it, and the fans fall right for it. Again, Todd Bowles and the staff has done a great job dealing with the situation that they deal with post Brady and during Brady. Cap strap, bargain QB, really one running back the entire year. Thank goodness that he stayed healthy the entire year. Well, let me not say that. Yeah, he's got one more game to go. Chase Edmonds. Dalvin Cook was released. Could he come to Tampa? They could spell and go a 1-2 punch. You have two very good receiving backs. You have a multitude of options if you decide to bring in Dalvin here as far as pass catchers out the backfield. You can line one up at wide out, one in the backfield. It opens up more doors if you want to do that. It's just if Dalvin wants to do that, or if he wants to go to Miami and be closer to home. I don't know. Or if he wants to chase a ring. It's really his decision where he wants to go, because he'll be a free agent and be able to choose where he wants to go. So that'll be interesting. But, I mean, he could jump on a winning team right now and try to help them. We'll see what happens with the whole Dalvin Cook situation, but he was very, very frustrated going to New York, not being utilized much. Breece Hall coming back, and decided he didn't want to be anywhere anymore. Jets aren't going anywhere. It's not what he signed up for. I get it. Like I said earlier, it's a different era of players these days. And that's just what it is. But the Bucs are 8-8, have a chance to finish 9-8, win a season 2 years in a row, winning NFC South and going to the playoffs on their Bowles regime. I know Tampa people want him fired, but how can you argue with the guy keeps going to the playoffs and winning the division? Sounds familiar. The Steelers, 17 years, never a losing season, making the playoffs, winning a Super Bowl. Story sounds familiar, but they want the man fired. But yet, I see other coaches get year after year of mediocrity, and they keep their jobs. Nobody's hooting and hollering. Crazy how that works, right? But it is what it is, and it's the world we live in. But let's see if Tampa Bay can punch their destiny, or they can punch disaster. They beat the Panthers coming in on the road to Carolina. They got a chance to do that. I don't think Tampa Bay coach in his first two seasons have gone to the playoffs in the NFC and win the NFC 2 years straight in a very long time. If you know who it is, please remind me. I'm not sure who it is, but it's something that hasn't been done in a very long time. And I hope, and Bowles has a 5-year contract, so I hope these guys keep building. We'll see what happens in the draft. Got to get some more depth on the offensive line. It's pretty good right now, but adding more doesn't hurt. Definitely got to bulk up this defensive line. They need a huge rotation down there. Like I said, a big V goes down. It changes the complexity. Joe Tryon, I don't know what's going to go on with him. You got Marquise Watts is going to come in this offseason, come out really I'm sure he's going to come out ready to play in year 2. Trey Palmer. Mike gets another. We don't know if Mike's going to be extended for another year. Chris Godwin's under contract. So you got a lot of guys under contract. You got to, of course, sure up Anton Winfield. Not sure what they're going to do with the Devin White situation. Levante David. Those are core guys on your defense and responsible for a lot of the success that you've had on this team. Be that as it may, with fans or media try to spin whatever it is, they have to sell a narrative for clicks and likes. It's just what they do. But like I said before, I'm not owned by anybody, so I can say what I want to say without a narrative. But that's what it is right now. Win and they're in. Win and they're in. Lose and deal with a whole bunch of BS this whole offseason, because that's all that's going to happen. So we'll see. Big Baker can do his thing, and the defense could come through with some turnovers. I expect them to have a very good week of practice, and we'll see what they do. That's all I got for you guys this week. It's a lot of wait and see this week coming up. So we'll see how the preparation is coming out on the road, and we'll see how the Bucs do. Of course, always leave a like, comment, send me videos or your comments on certain topics, and I'll play it during the show and I'll talk about it. Follow me on any platforms, BlakeAnthony49, and we'll talk about all that. We'll talk about whatever opinions you got or whatever you believe or you don't believe. And we'll end this as we always do. You're the master of everything. What you do with your life, what you do with it is entirely up to you. Thank you guys. God bless. And as always, fire those cannons. See you next time.